This has got to be the most stupid idea ever. Let's do it. This is stupid and I love it. Roll the intro. Hello everyone, welcome back to CDT, it is me, Ditto. Let's meet the contenders for this epic showdown of shitness. The first one is this, the Eggmobile. In the CDT wiki, it's called the Volkswagen P. Why? I don't know. But I've painted it brown because then it looks like a chocolate egg. But if you paint it red and look at it from the front, hold on, it looks like it's in Among Us. Yeah, that's literally the running joke with this cover. It looks like the crewmate from Among Us. I don't know why. It's a very cool car. It starred in the 2022 Egg Hunt event. I think it was the first week. It might have been the second week, it might have been the first, I can't remember. But it was in it alongside the Koenigsegg CCGT, McLaren MP4-12C, I crashed it, and Porsche 911 RSR. And I have most of those cars, apart from the RSR. I really wish I had the RSR. It's a good little nippy city car, apart from the balance problem. I'm running it on standard suspension, because otherwise it sort of becomes lethal. And it will tip over if you hit curbs. Which is a shame, but it has nice tight handling, so it can pretty much be taken flat through any corner in the city. Flat, however, is one thing it won't be on the ground. It's very high riding, which means the suspension's good. But balance is not. But it's nice, quick and fun. I do like the turning as well. And as for drifting, it's interesting. It's short wheelbase, but very powerful. Which means it's lethal. You basically spin it pretty much everywhere. Like, here we go, I'm going to take it at 120 into here. And then just back comes round instantly. There is no way to drift this thing properly, because it's narrow, it's tall, the wheelbase is incredibly short, which just means it's lethal. Short wheelbase cars with loads of power are massively uncontrollable, especially in real life. Like, someone put a Hayabusa engine in a BMW Isetta. My granddad knows that person, because he's an Isetta owner. And apparently that just makes it flip over and do all sorts of mad things. Same thing with the Audi Sport Quattro. And that's definitely not killed anyone. But yeah, overall I do like this car. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is rightly so, as a meme car. But it's still nice and frisky in the bends, and quite fun. Pretty quick as well. So now, let's meet the rival contender. And here it is, the almighty Pumpkinmobile. Oh, this thing's great. It's a very interesting little thing. It was released in October 2023, so last year. 6 months ago. How the fuck was it that long ago? Sorry, excuse me, I'm having an existential crisis. Moving swiftly on from that, it starred alongside the Skeleton Bike, the Ferrari 458 Speciale, and the Aston Martin Victor, which was infamous because if you got the OG wrap for it, you just unlocked the rarest car in the game to date. There's like 25,000 of them exactly. Really rare. Anyway, I always thought this was the funniest, but the skeleton bike was also cool. This is perfectly rounded, but very, very low, and it has a nice wide wheelbase, a bit wider than the Eggmobiles, which gives it sporting credentials. That's an example of a lie. I think it's actually a nod to these orange rebodied minis from the 1970s. Basically, some company that sold oranges, I can't remember which, back in the 1970s, decided to buy some minis, take the bodies off of them, and replace them with oranges. Like, literal orange fruit. But it was supposed to look like an orange. Anyway, this one looks like a pumpkin, and looks like it's from a similar era. It's very wide, and not as tall as the Eggmobile, but still very wide, which is why it is quite slow. Compared to the Eggmobile anyway. 1 mile an hour less at the top end, but definitely worse acceleration. But I would say it handled better. This is going to be interesting when it comes to the circuit. And as for drifting, well, it's better than the Eggmobile because it doesn't just instantly spin. A little too heavy, but you can get the front back really easily. It's hard to explain, but if I turn in here and I handbrake, the front swings back round when I countersteer to get it back into line. It's quite weird, but you do end up getting used to it. It's all about not countersteering. You resist the urge to try and wind the back and the front back into line, and eventually, it's pretty good. So, points to the Pumpkinmobile there. Now it's time for the circuit, which is, it's gonna be interesting. First to face the trial by track is the VWP. I'm not calling it the VWP though, because I just don't think the wiki's right with this one. It's got nice wheels. Looks like the 6 spokes that you can swap onto cars. Pretty cool. Now, I think it's faster in a straight line than the Pumpkinmobile, but I also think it's far worse in the corners. So, it all comes down to whether I'm an idiot or not. Meanwhile, on the race circuit, Jesus Christ, this is terrible. Wide through there because I can't afford to brake in corners because for some reason, that makes the back end step out. And that's bad. Brake here. Oh, the back tried to go. This is terrible. This is both terrible and terrifying. Oh, up the bank. Come on, can we make it sub 45? Maybe. Sub 45. 43.3. That was terrifying. And now the Pumpkinmobile. Oh, just to remind you all that these cars are all fully upgraded apart from the suspension. So, because obviously they're below 180 miles an hour. Now, the Pumpkinmobile, it's less exciting than the Eggmobile in corners because it's not constantly trying to kill you. I'm happy to accept that, you know. Meanwhile, off the line, here we go. There is quite a lot of suspension roll every time I change gear. Oh no, it feels much worse in the corners. I think I may have been... It tried to spin as well. Oh god, this is terrible. This is terrible in a different way to the Eggmobile. Because it's just bad at cornering. It's not constantly trying to spin. It's just massive amounts of understeer. It's incredibly heavy. I think I may have misjudged this. Bloody hell. Okay, I think the Pumpkinmobile's actually terrible. As you can see, 45.7, we were massively slower than the Eggmobile. So, Eggmobile wins, I guess. The Eggmobile is faster, better in the corners, lighter, and can set a better track time than the Pumpkinmobile, and is lethal. It's fun, but the type of fun where you're, like, about to die. So, out of personal preference, the Eggmobile is... I still prefer the Eggmobile, but the Pumpkinmobile is also nice because it's not mad. Which is why it's bad. Because the meme cars are supposed to be fun and terrible. But the Pumpkinmobile is just average. So, Eggmobile wins. Get this motherfucker an interior. Thanks for watching. I am probably not going to survive 5 more minutes of driving in this car.